Okay. Okay. All right. So, good afternoon. Okay. All right. So, hopefully, managhan ra mo or that you are sharing one devices. Daghan, no? So, as much as I want us to meet face to face, the auditorium is not currently available. So, actually, mga, it was, gigamit man gud siya sa mga nasunugan, no? But I think yesterday or kaganina morning namalhin naman sila dito sa Hinang. However, some of their things and ba nilang mga belongings such as mga mats and all napa sa Hiraya. So, sa Odi. So, and it was also used to segregate mga relief goods. So, mapabot siya ng hipos. So, mo nang murag dili pa ready, no? Auditorium for me. Siguro, gamay ra mo. No? Okay. So, now, murag ingani na gyud ta, no? sa topic na to sa relations, diagrams, and functions, murag online, no? I'm not so sure if makamantang functions today. Um, yes, because relations is medyo same na yung concept, but it's quite a challenging na topic, no? Okay. Alright. Also, sa katong gusto mag self-study, no? Um, I'm using this book, kanisha. This is this one. This is a book from Seymour and Mark Lipson. So actually my entire relations na topic is based on this one, nakasunod-sunod lang. And then it is followed by this one, functions at chapter 3. So sa katong gusto mo self-study, naa siya din hiya. Some of the examples as well are also here. Okay. Also, this meeting is recorded, so you can revisit, rewatch our class at later time. Kanang mingaw or hilom na ang palibot. But at the end of this of our class this today, we will have a short na quiz just to make sure na naminaw mo, no, or that na may nag-grasp miskin gamay lang. Okay. So, the last time we talked about relations and then directed graphs. We talked about graphs and and how to show relations in terms of a matrix or this one kana siya, and of course graphs, no. And yes, no. And then right now we will continue our discussion on reflexive relations. So I think I've already discussed this one. Unsa ni si reflexive, unsa ni si symmetric and antisymmetric, and then ug unsa pud ni si kaning last gani transitive man yata ni, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, transitive relations. So yes, all right. So let's start, no. So I'm using here whiteboard para makasulat-sulat ko. One reason pud as well na dili kay ko ganahan sa OD because wala, I don't know, nabay whiteboard dito. So anyways, unsa nang reflexive? So here are your examples here, sample nga mga problems. And then say for example, I wanted to ask you unsaan nga mga relations ang reflexive, unsaan nga mga relations ang symmetric, and then unsa ang transitive. So I think we stopped at reflexive and symmetric the last time. So when you say symmetric, it means na naa siya element anang relation nga same, no? Same pair, or say for example, si R1 here, if you look at this one, if you look at R1 here, naa siya 1, 1. Okay, dili ko kasulat. Na siya 1, 1. And then, wala na dayon. So, it should be that since naman mo yung 1 sa inyong relationship niya, napod mo yung 2 here, dapat na apoy nag-exist na 2, 2, no? And then, as you may have noticed, napod siya 3, so dapat na apoy nag-exist na 3, 3. That is for reflexive. So, technically, since this one has 2 and 3 as a part of its relations, no? And there is no existence of 2 and 3 na relationship to 2 and 3, 3. So, this is not reflexive. So, not reflexive. So, not ref na lang kung butang ana. Now, for this one, nakita na to 1, 1. Okay, so there should be 2, 2. There should be 3, 3, and there is 4, 4. Sige, nakuuna ko para especially na may inyong screen. This one, there's an existence of 1, 1, 2, 2, and 3, 3, and 4, 4. So, this is reflexive. So, since wala na may laing element diri 1, 2, 3, 4 man atong nakita, and all of those numbers has a relation to itself, so we can say that this is reflexive. This one is not reflexive, obvious, no? So dapat again naatay 1, 1 and 2, 2. This one is an empty relation. So an empty relation can be considered as a reflexive na relation, since technically it can relate to itself, no? And empties to itself. And then this one, the relation of A and A, so it just means that if you have sets A, it relates to itself, no? So tanan member niya na ay relation sa iyang self. So of course, with this assumption, there is always a chance na kung namoy one diha, it can also relate to itself, no? So, since all of the elements of A is related to itself, so kay A nga 1, 2, 3, and then let's rewrite A here nga 1, 2, 3, sa ato pa kana related, kana related, and kana related. So, with this, we can say the 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 are all part of this one. So, this is reflexive. That's for reflexive. Now, let's go to symmetric. Okay? So, unsay na as a symmetric? Symmetric relations are if na ay AB na nag-exist sa imong relation, dapat na apoy BA. No? So, in that case, balik taaning ng R1 na to, there exists a 1, 1. So, of course, na 1, 1. Okay? There exists a 1, 2. So, there should be a 2, 1. However, 2, 1 is not there. Wala. No? Walay 2, 1 ani. Okay. So, walay 2, 1 ana niya. So, we can say that this R1 here is not symmetric or asymmetric. So, you say asymmetric. I know this one there. 1, 1. So, 3. This, you cannot also call this an asymmetric because, I mean antisymmetric, because when you say antisymmetric, there should be an existence of 1, 1. I'll be discussing that later. Sa karon symmetric lang sa. not symmetric or symmetric. So this one, this is 1, 2. So there is also 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. These are symmetric, no? And 1, 2, and 2, 1 are symmetric. So this is symmetric. This one is not symmetric, obviously. This one is actually symmetric because an empty can be an empty to itself. And this one is also asymmetric. Okay. Now, here um, we have here, ay, hindi na ako ma-drag. So here we have the antisymmetric. Unsa ni siyang antisymmetric? Antisymmetric relationship are those relations na there's no way nga nag-exist na symmetric relation sa inyong set of relationship. So say for example, this one here, si R1, R1 is not antisymmetric. It is also not symmetric because of the existence of 1, 1. 1, 1 is symmetric, so naa siya member na symmetric. So, even though naiuban na not symmetric, no? Since na may existence sa symmetric diri ang element, so this is not antisymmetric. This, of course, is not antisymmetric, but this one, this is antisymmetric. So this is an antisymmetric. This is not an antisymmetric. And this is a symmetric this is not an antisymmetric relationship. So kanilang ang antisymmetric. Okay? So technically, mo na siya. Now, why am I discussing role of reflexive, antisymmetric? Mabalik na taan na later, no? Kaya natin ginatawag na property of relation as well, where the three of this is present. Usa ning ikatulo.
Ma'am, question, ma'am.
Yes.
Ngano, like I think R3 na no, ma'am, ang not anti-symmetric, right, ma'am? Yeah, ngano,
Yes.
why is it not, why is it not anti-symmetric po?
Ay, okay. 3 is anti-symmetric, not this is not symmetric. So, well, sorry sa akong pagkasulat. Not symmetric and anti-symmetric. Okay? This is
Thank you,
not
ma'am.
symmetric, but this is anti-symmetric. Yes. So, yes, this is anti-symmetric because, again, there's no existence of symmetric here. And both elements is not symmetric. So, this is anti-symmetric. Ang inyo ron tanawon to determine if R1 is an anti-symmetric is if wala gi existence sa symmetric nga element. So, kana siya. Okay, so thank you for clarification, no? I think some of your classmates as well, murag naglibog po dato because of how I write this one. Okay, thank you. Alright, so now let's move to the last property of a relation, which is transitive relations. So when you say transitive relation, it just means that if there exists an AB in your set of relations, nanapod ni siya ang ako ang paanong good class kay gubaon. So if there exists an R equals AB on your set of relation, then there should be element or an element in your R that connects to B to C. So technically, this here is a transitive relation because A and C is related through B. Okay? Okay. So I think I have here how to write a transitive relation, that one. So we can say that a relation R on set A is transitive whenever there is an element A or B related to B, A related to B, and B related to C, such that A is now related to C. Okay. So, that is if naana siya sa inyong relationship, sa inyong relation set, then we can call that as transitive relation. Okay? So let's look at the examples. Here are set of example kanisiya, and let's determine if it is um, transitive. So we hear one, one, and one, two. This is actually a transitive relation here. So let's just highlight that. That is a transitive relation. One, 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 two. 1, 2, and 2, 3, that is also a transitive relation. So we can highlight that again with, say, a different color. So 1, 2, and 2, 3, that's a transitive relation there. However, 1, 3, I believe, does not have any transitive relations with other set here. Kung naapatingali element na nag-start sa 3, here, pwede pa nato ni siya. But since wala, so wala man, no? So we can say na this is not transitive. This is not transitive since because of the existence of 1, 3. So kung napatingali 3, 4, pwede pa, no? So okay, so this is not transitive. So muna yung answer no, not reflexive, not symmetric, and not transitive, CR1. CR2, okay, let's try to evaluate R2. 1, 1, and 1, 2, that's transitive. Um, 1, 2, and 2, 1, that's transitive. 2, 2, that is technically transitive to itself, no? So just bear in mind, ano, i-memorize na lang, basta same gani sila og element, that's already transitive. So 2 2 3 3 and 4 4, these are transitive relationships. So ako i-recheck ha if I'm correct here. So R3 is not transitive. Okay. So, 3, 3. Okay. Ano na transitive man is 2, 3. 1, 3. Niya po ang answer. 1, 3. Ay, okay. Okay. Sayop din niya kung R1. Okay. Let's track back. So we already know that number 2 is transitive. Number 1 here, I did not see. Sorry. So, diri na din na ang challenge, no? Sige, ito na siyang i-resolve. Okay, so, 1, 1 is transitive. 1, 2 is transitive because 1, 1, 1, 2. 2, 3 is a transitive from 1, 2 to 2, 3. Nara day ang pares ni 1, 3. Sorry. Si 1, 1 o si 1, 3. Okay, so 1 and 3. So this is actually 1 related to 3 here. This is 1 related to, this is also 1 related to 3. Okay, so 2 lang ang ilahang connections to. So, kani 2 ang connection nila, kani 1 ang connection nila. So anyways, and then 4 4 is of course a relationship itself, so this is also transitive. So this is transitive, sorry. Ganyan akong check. So that is a transitive. This one is also transitive. This one is the only thing that is not transitive. Okay? Yes?
Excuse me po, ma'am. Do we have to represent all the possible na transitive relations to call are something transitive, or just the existence of transitive relationships is fine na?
Okay. It depends on the problem as no. If the exam or the for example, I'll be asking just if this relation given this element are they transitive or not, then you can just put that it's transitive, or there's no need to write what are the elements that makes it transitive or not. But if I specifically ask the elements that are transitive to each other, then that's the type that you will, so just make sure that the question is kanang specific. Okay, kung specific ang question, katong mangita na gyud ko og partner ana nga transitivity, then kana. Pero kung wala ko nangita, like ako lang gipa-identify if si R1 ba is transitive or not, then no need to state atong element ang maka-transitive sa iya. Okay? Alright, so hopefully that answers your question. Okay, so 1, 3, and 2, 1, that's not transitive. So this one is transitive. So it's empty. Again, empty relation is perfect, no? You don't really have to think about it. Basta kay transitive niya siya. And then A times A, as I have mentioned kaganina with this here, up kanisya nga relationship sa taas. Um, this is transitive because there's a chance that 2 2 is also connected to 2 3 because all of which are connected to each other. So, of course, transitive na siya. Okay? So, this is transitive. This is not this is transitive, sorry. And this is not transitive here. Okay, so this is one example, no? Now let me give you another set of example. This example is a little bit medyo libog siya because this applies to actual sets, no? So dere as number one, relation such that kani relation less than equal on the set of z of integer. So technically all of those relations nga naa sa integer set that are um, that satisfy this condition. So may tag si z here, we have a set of z. So say for example na kay 1, 2, 3. So technically the relation for that one is of course z pud ning isa. Saan naman yung kapag? So z pud ning isa, so we can say na 2 is less than or ay 1 is less than or equal to 2. So this one here. So these are relations. Kung na lang nabutangan ng red, ganun sila. So that's part of your relation. So we can say na 1, 2 because 1 is less than or equal to 2. Relation as well to 2 that belongs there. Um, tanan, integer that satisfy this condition. Less than or equal. Now, the question here is, unsa ni siya? Is it, unsa ni siya, transitive, symmetric, or so to isa reflexive. So if we look at this clearly, tanan na adinhiya first na element of this relation is always less than or equal to the next one. So and also there is sa una ta mo check, no, sige sa reflexive sa ta mo check because that's the easiest. Si reflexive is just the existence of an element with itself. So, reflexive ba ni siya? Do you think that this set of R, wherein the first element is less than or equal to the second element, is reflexive? So, when you say reflexive, na ay element ko na sa iya itself, no? Like the existence of 1, 1, existence of 2, 2. So, thumbs up if you think this is reflexive. Yes. So yes, you're correct, Ayo. Now this set here, this here is reflexive. Yes, taga na din sila ng clause. I was nag-loading lang. Alright. So this is reflexive because the existence of that one. Now let's go to symmetric. Symmetric means na if sige, two definitions of symmetric. Symmetric means na if there is a 1, 2, or if there is an AB, there should also be a BA. Okay. With this one, no, um, as I have mentioned kaganina, smaller first compared to second, so that's the relationship between them, katong less than equal, satisfies. So do you think this is symmetric? Thumbs up if you think this is symmetric, thumbs down if you think this is not symmetric. Okay, yes, this is not symmetric because if there exists, though 1 1 and 2 2, these are symmetric, but if there exists a 1 2, if there exists a 1 2, there should also exist a 2 1, which 2 is not less than or equal to 1. So technically, this is not symmetric. Now, anti-symmetric, because of the existence of 1 1 and 2 2, no, these are symmetric elements. No? Even though the entire relation R is not symmetric, we cannot call this anti-symmetric because of the existence of 1 1 and 2 2. Okay? Now, let's go to transitive. So this is not symmetric. So we can say this is transitive. This is not symmetric. Now, I transitive, reflexive. Now let's go to, is it transitive? So transitive means if 1 2 exists, then there should also be an element which you will start at 2, no, with whatever variable there is. So technically, transitive just means that if you have A B, then there should also be a B A, no? So BC, sorry, BC. So technically kana lang na ay element ni R na pwede siya ma-second, na pwede siya element na pwede siya ma-first. Is this relationship here transitive? Thumbs up if you think this is transitive. Thumbs up if you think this is not transitive. Okay. Yes, this is actually transitive, no? Because if there exists a 1 2, there also exists a 2 3 something, no? Okay, so naana siya nga element because 2 can be less than 3, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I think you get it, no? Now for this one, this is just inclusion or subset nga relation such that same ra gihapon siya aning number 1, but it is subset. Okay, so I think I will not go kanina lang tingaling perpendicular and and parallel. So actually the answer for this one is in the slides, I think, or in the book. Okay, so this one, kaning number 3, kamo natin nga magfunona na is that if these two lines here that, so for example, line 1 and line 2, they are perpendicular. So their relationship is that these two lines are perpendicular. So do you think is this reflexive? Is this symmetric, transitive, and also technically if this line here, is it reflexive to this line here? So, i-ano siya, no? Sige. Alright. Mhm. Alright. So, sige, ato na niyan si Ran. Is this pinakauna reflexive? Sige. Then, ba na siya answer diri? Wala siya answer. Sige. Ako na lang answer. Okay. Um, so, this is your equation of the line here. So, say for example, this is your f of x. one, I f1 of x, sorry, and this is your g of x. So this is your f of x, and then this is your g of x. Technically, all of the values here in your g of x will result to that one, and your f of x there will result to this one. Now, they are related through the fact that they are um, perpendicular. No? Now, for reflexibility, it means that if, for example, um, this line here is also if I think that the cunning explanation behind this is that if g of x is perpendicular to f of x, then does that mean that f of x is also perpendicular to g of x? So that's actually the question in transitivity, because um I know reflexive day. So if g of x di is perpendicular to f of x, is there a chance na si g of x is also, sorry ha, is also perpendicular to itself, g of x? So if hatagan mo gingani nga problem class, let's look at it kanang generally. Since reflexive means an identity to itself, so there should be a chance that si g of x is perpendicular to g of x itself. And then the f of x here is perpendicular to f of x itself. Of course, this cannot happen because when you say the definition of perpendicular, it means that they only meet once, no? 'Di ba? Mga na si perpendicular, at least nag-meet sila and then they will go on separate ways after that meeting. So technically, g of x to itself does not do that, no? Dili man siya dili niya reflexive iyang self. Hindi niya ma-meet iyang self once because if you have 2g of x, that's just two line up kanang on top of the other. So technically, same sila tanan nag-answer. So we cannot really say that this g of x here is reflexive to itself, g of x, and f of x is reflexive to itself, f of x. So thus, this one is not reflexive. No? So, muna siya. And let's look at symmetric. So, symmetric means that if g of x is perpendicular to f of x, then f of x is also perpendicular to g of x, no? So, sa ato pa, if perpendicular si g of x ng f of x, then si f of x pod perpendicular kung g of x, gibalik rin ako. Which is actually correct, no? Sakto man siya because both of them only meet once, so they are perpendicular of each other. So technically, from the definition of symmetry, this is symmetric. Okay. Now, let's go for transitive. So transitive, it just means that if there exists an element of g of x, no, here there is a g of x, then there should be an element in g of x such that it connects to f of x. Sakto ba ko? And with this one, nabay pwede na to i-connect sa ila. But let me see, I think, in my understanding, I think wala na. So, this is not transitive. So, yes. So, yung ani ra na siya, if you're given this type of question, you really need to go back to the definition of what is transitive, what is reflexive, and what is symmetric. Okay? So, muna siyang magamit din yung pagka-pilosopo. So, yes. No? As long as you have proven it and explained it very well, carefully, no? You need to really think about it. Okay? So, there is an answer for this one on the book, Hika ni siya nga book. The problem with this book lang is very minimal lang iyang mga explanation. So, I don't know if it's a problem or not para sa inyo ha, but inga nila kagagmay ang iyang mga definitions and then maghatag na din na siya example and so on. So, that's my problem with this book. Very, very straight to the point ang iyang mga explanation. Okay, so that is it for symmetric, reflexive, and transitive. Now, let's go to the next topic. I think the closure properties. So, closure properties are technically from the name closure, it doesn't mean na iyahang i-close, no? It's like, how do I say it? Mara niya og i-grupo or i-make sure nga na closure siya. Okay? So, lahi tingalin yung definition sa closure. But, lahi po diyan definition sa closure. Actually, the first time I read about this closure property, I was very confused. Kaya lahi iyang pasagot. I don't know why scientists and smart people are really bad at naming things. But, so anyways, so let P be the property of such relations such as being symmetric, transitive, or anything, or it could be reflexive. So we can say that the P closure of an arbitrary relation R on A, so written PR, is P relation such that kana siya. So technically, kaning P of R here, say for example, sa board here. Narode. Okay. So here, say for example, as a iyahang definition, we have a set A, collection of all relations on A. So given a set A and a collection of all relations in A, so you have here a set A. Let's call that A. Let P be the property of the relation. So when you say property of the relation, it could be um, symmetric, transitive, or katong kaganina, reflexive. So that's like the property of the relation, okay? Okay. Wala ko nagpa na. Okay. P will be called P relation such that P closure. P relation, the P closure of an arbitrary. Sige. Ay, naku na. Unsa na niya? Ikapoy na po siya sa iyang live. Okay, ni Violet akong screen. Okay, kaya lang. Okay. So, P is the property, this one. So this property could be, so you have here your R relation. This is your relation set, no? Kato inyong hang 2, 1, ito mga relation set. It is a subset of PR. PR is the, so na siya, transitive ba na siya, or reflexive ba na siya, given a set S. So, say for example, in here, ambot nga ng S yung gamit dire when we were talking about A. So, this is, for example, your set, and then you have a relation. So this is the set of your relation. These are all your relation from another set, no? So you can say that P of R is the property of that relation. So P of R is the property of that relation. Kani, so for example, kani siya nga line here, kani nga relation here from another set to that set, has a property. So it could be symmetric, it could be transitive, it could be reflexive. So this one, this relation here is its property. So you can name it P of R. Okay? So, muna siya technically. Mura na iya closure. Now, I don't know why it's called closure kung kaya nga na raman iya raman define si P of R. So, anyways, this is the example for that one. Say, for example, you have a relation that looks like this one. Now, ay mo ba niya siya ang example? Sa lang na. Ay, wala din po ng butaw. Okay. So this one here, before that, before we go to the example, let's just talk about this one. So um, this is technically just saying, no, kung unsa ng reflexive and symmetric. So just fancy notations, no. So this one, kaning kaning triangle na A is considered a reflexive relation, and then the R sub 1 is the symmetric relation. So kana siya, kana ilahang mga symbols. It just means that we have enclosed, muna yung term sa closure ha, enclose your R with its reflexive na member, and then kanipod we have enclosed your R with its symmetric na closure ay na R. So it means reflexive closure of R because we include reflexive properties, and symmetric closure of R because we include symmetric properties. Okay, so what does that mean? So sige, ato na lang siya i-drawing, no? So say for example, this is, as I understand it, not a set A, and then of course this is somewhat related to another set. It could be itself or it could be another set. And then as I have mentioned, this is your P of R, so the property of that relation. Now, katong kaganina nga giingon niya nga definition is that say for example your this one, your set of relation does not have a reflexive property or does not have a transitive properties. Reflexive na lang sa tingali, for example purposes. So, kani sila tanan lugar nga relation here is not reflexive. For example, this is not reflexive. Now, we wanted to enclose a reflexive property for this relation. So, to do that, we can just add any reflexive property to this here, kaning set here. So, say for example, your R, kani siya, this is your set of R, kana. So, your R, you can just add here the symmetric property of a set. So, for example, this one, your R here, set of all relation is just added all the reflexive property of A, your set A. So we can say na na-enclose na nato ning reflexive property kang R. So muna yung meaning sa closure. Basically enclosing or adding, no? So adding here the symmetric properties of R so that na is siya symmetric na property. So muna siya, just a simple example here kani. This one. So relation R1 to 3 from set A. Now we wanted to include symmetric property on this set here. So we included 2, 2, and 4, 4 to make this reflexive. So we enclose reflexive property here, 2, 2, and 4, 4 para mahimo ning relation as symmetric. Okay, this one is similar as well. To make this relation symmetric, we added 4, 2, and 3, 4. So technically, the problem here is what elements or what relationship will you add to a certain existing relation to make it reflexive or to make it symmetric. So that's what you call closure. So, gi-enclose na to siya, no? I don't know, layo rin kayo iya name sa iya hapon sa inyo dapat buhaton, but sige, dawaton na lang na to, no? So, na, subot limbong. Alright. So, that's the definition of closure. And we also have, this is a transitive and reflexive closures. Kung yan na to siya sa transitive. And this is not transitive. This is reflexive and symmetric. Now, this is a transitive closure. So, transitive closures, technically, you're just gonna be adding itself. Actually, so, this one, then consider R as F1. Then you have, okay, alright. So this one, I think this needs a little bit of a discussion. Sige, iwato na lang nato na siya naman. Katawa man tayo. Now, let's just um consider this example. Ay ako na sa ngayon. That is, nahumana ba sa kaganina? No, sa katong reflexive and symmetric, not too sure how to add, no? So na to siya pag add ang transitive. Okay, in this example, we have relation 1, 2, 2, 3, and 3, 3 on A, except A there. Or God, really. So, I think na ako dito kami sa Anara. Okay. Um, Now, you need to consider the creation of R2 and R3. Ayun, sa mga sila ba? Sige. Okay. So, from here, in the definition, so we have, this is actually a clear definition. We have R2. Of course, it is the same as R multiplied by R. So, and also the same with Rn and 2 times R. So R2 gihapon na siya Rn. So if you multiply that, basta mo na siya, no? Math na siya. Okay. So it says here that a transitive relation R, so PR, no, can be added using, can be used or can be represented with this one. So R union it's R squared, union it's R cubed, and until Rn, wherein your Rn here is the element of your A, number of elements in A, with n elements. So here we have three elements in A, so Rn here is 3. So um, you can consider this one as R1, kani siya, kaning pinakauna gihatag. So you have here your R1. Since you have 3, so need ka mag R2 o mag-construct of R3. Okay? Alright. Now let's construct R2. Okay? So R2 is means the R multiplied by itself. Now, ma'am, nganong kana ang iyahang element ni R2? So 1, 3, 2, 3, and um, 3, 3. Okay. Sige. So, let's write si R1. So, si, this is, naka-set ni A-Day. A-Day dapat na siya. 1, 2, 3. So, technically, they are related. So, 1, 2, 3. So, this is A itself, no? Kaya di araman gibase si R. So, it's here that 1 is related to 2, 2 is related to 3, and 3 is related to 3. That is your first R1. Now, you wanted to write R2. So, unsaon na to na siya. So, technically, what you're gonna do is, sa lang, I will recall first. So, so here to get your R2, we need to find the transitive relation of R1. Okay? So here si 1, 2 and si 2, 3 are existing. So sa ato pa na ay 1, 3 na nag-exist dire. Okay? Here 2, 3 and 3, 3 is existing. So dapat na ay 2, 3 nag-exist dire. Okay, so actually ang explanation ani is complicated. I just ako lang siya gisayon kay mo man gyud actually ang iyahang murag similar na task, no? So to get R2, we need to look at the transitive relations ni R1. Okay? So kung naamoy R2 1, 2 and 2, 3, this one is transitive relation here, so that is 1 R3 ay yes, no? So we can put here 1 3 sa inyong R2. And then we have 2 3 and 3 3, so we can put here 2 3 sa atong R2. And wala na may laing relation ana no na may 2 3 na may 1 3, so di kanina lang dahil isang 3 3 ato lang siyang i-copy because this is also a transitive relation. Okay, now this one here is also the transitive relation of R2. Okay, kung mohimo po kag R3, so ang transitive relation ni R2 is 1 3 3, so 1 3 and 3 3, so na kay 1 3 diha, na kay 2 3 and 3 3, so na kay 2 3 dire, and just copy the 3 3 there. So again, to get, you need to find the number of element in A. That will be your basis for your N. So sa ato pa, since you have 3, you need 2 more R's, no? Si R2, si R3. And then to get R2, you need to find the transitive relations of R1. And to get R3, you need to get the transitive relations of R2. Okay? So technically here, what you're doing is just finding the transitive R, no, sa relations sa ato ang main na R. So it's just the fusion or the union of R2 and R3 here. So you have 1 2 2 3 3 3 and 1 3. So this is the transitive relation of R there. So sa ato pa, to make this R transitive R, so ato na lang ng anaon, you have R union your R2 and of course your R3s. So mo ni siya din kana siya nga answer there. So mo na siya actually ang definition kani. Okay? So that makes this the closure P of R of R. Okay? So similar sa katong kaganina, which this one. So make it reflexive R, kani atong i-add. To make it symmetric R, kani atong i-add. To make this transitive R, kaning R2 o R3 ang atong i-add. So, ano siya? Magkatawan na lang yung ko mag-discuss kay medyo libog naman good sa class. Alright. Sige. So, I think it's 4:30. So, maghimo na lang kog attendance, and then I will be giving you an assignment na lang to be submitted same date. I will give you tomorrow an assignment, and then tomorrow ra po diya ang deadline. So, I hope you find time the entire day to answer the assignment. Now I do discourage asking, or since assignment man siya, so collaborative work is there by default. Ano, kaya assignment man siya. Ang ako na lang ana is that somehow unta na mo na learn sa inyong collaborative work. Okay? Dili kay basta lang copy lang ng copy, and then pag abot dito sa examination, of course dili naman ka copy. So mo to, siguro ato lang tingaling take advantage sa atong ability to copy during sa kaning mga assignments. Make it an opportunity to talk or ask for help sa inyong mga friends, or ask for kanang tutorial or something like that. And then para pag-abot dito sa actual na exam, at least napahimuslan ang inyong pag ginapyahe sa assignment. I hope you get me, no? Okay, so let's just wait for the assignment for the attendance for a while lang sa. This is CSC November 21. Okay, so probably by next meeting we will start on functions. Siguro is 30 minutes lang na si functions. It's a small topic, meron man siya. Then we will go to the pigeonhole principle and then ano na yun ta, combinatorics. Combinatorics, I think, 2 meetings lang na siya. And then lastly, trees na din. Far away lang sa ha. Uh, responses. Okay. Okay, so here is the attendance. Oh no, naglag ako ang class for a while. Okay, so that's the attendance. So once you're done with attendance, pwede na din leave. Just wait for my announcement tomorrow for the assignment. Naroon na siya gihapon sa LMS. If dili ta mo ma-update sa assignment, just visit LMS by 12 noon. Okay? Yes, Prince.
Excuse ma'am, pwede mo mga PPT sa karon nga topic mo o
Ah, yes,
picture vid.
lecture videos, since this is recorded. Ako na ni siya i-upload tomorrow morning
Thank you,
gihapon.
ma'am.
And ako ra po ni siyang
Thank you,
i-share
ma'am.
sa LMS. Yes. So if there is no more question, hopefully naman yan nasabtan. So if no more question, then pwede na we leave everyone. So class dismissed. Bye everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Tulo-tulo nakakapit ha. Permahan ni tanan. Clark, ano butang sa date, Clark? Kay Basigma. Arong uniform. Alo. Oh, diretso na lang magkukuha diri. Di na ta mo balik di sa balay. Dadaan na lang si Aki ug si Yui. Ah, palakaw na mo. Naghipos na ka. Ah, sige, sige. Na magkukuy chat. Sige, bye-bye.